Have you ever wondered if ghosts truly exist? This question has piqued human curiosity for millennia. Across cultures and continents, countless individuals claim to have encountered experiences that defy scientific explanation. From eerie noises in the dead of night to chilling apparitions in broad daylight, these experiences are as diverse as they are inexplicable. But how do we reconcile these eerie tales with our understanding of the physical world? Are they mere figments of our imagination, or do they hint at something more? So, what does science have to say about these supposed apparitions? To understand the supernatural, we must first understand our own perception. Our brain is an extraordinary organ, a supercomputer that processes information from our senses, allowing us to experience and interact with the world around us. But like any sophisticated system, it's not infallible. Sometimes it can be tricked, leading us to perceive things that aren't there. Let's delve into the concept of pareidolia, a psychological phenomenon that causes people to see patterns in random stimuli. This often leads to people recognizing faces, figures, or objects in unrelated and ambiguous visuals. It's the same reason why you might see a face in the clouds or in the random patterns of a popcorn ceiling. Our brains are wired to recognize familiar patterns, especially faces, as a survival mechanism. Now imagine you're in a dimly lit room, your heart is pounding, and you're already a bit on edge because you've been told it's haunted. Your brain, in that heightened state of alertness, might be more prone to pareidolia. Suddenly, that coat rack in the corner could look like a shadowy figure. Then, there's the power of suggestion. If someone tells you a place is haunted, your mind may unconsciously lead you to hear, see, or feel things that align with that suggestion. You might hear a creak and immediately associate it with a ghostly presence, or feel a chill and attribute it to a spirit. This is because our brains try to make sense of our experiences and fill in gaps based on the information we already have. So, how does this relate to the supernatural? Well, if our brains can be tricked into seeing faces in clouds or attributing a creak to a ghost due to suggestion, it's plausible that many supernatural experiences could be a result of these cognitive misinterpretations. So, could these experiences be a trick of the mind? Our brain is a powerful tool capable of creating our reality. Think about that for a moment. This 3-pound mass of jelly-like substance, sitting at the top of our spine, has the power to construct the world as we know it. But what happens when this mighty organ begins to play tricks on us? Let's delve into the realm of hallucinations. Hallucinations are not just the domain of those with serious mental illness. They can occur in any of us, under certain conditions. For instance, consider a time when you've been under extreme stress, or when you've gone without sleep for an extended period. The world around you may start to seem a little off. Perhaps you hear a voice that isn't there, or see a shadowy figure out of the corner of your eye. These are hallucinations, and they are created by your brain. But why does the brain do this? The answer lies in how our brain processes information. Our brains are constantly taking in a huge amount of data from our senses. To make sense of it all, the brain uses a kind of shorthand, filling in gaps with what it expects to see or hear based on past experiences. Most of the time, this system works perfectly, but under certain conditions, such as stress or sleep deprivation, this process can go awry, and hallucinations can result. Another interesting aspect is the influence of electromagnetic fields. Some researchers suggest that strong electromagnetic fields can interfere with the normal functioning of our brain, causing us to see or hear things that aren't really there. Imagine walking through an old creaky house filled with electromagnetic fields from old wiring. Your brain, trying to make sense of the unusual signals it's receiving, might just conjure up a ghostly figure. So what's the takeaway from all this? Our brain, as powerful and complex as it is, can sometimes be fooled. It can create experiences that feel real, but are nothing more than figments of our imagination. This means that sometimes, seeing is not always believing. Belief in the supernatural is a powerful force. It's a force that can shape our perceptions, mold our experiences, and even influence our physical health. This power doesn't stem from the supernatural itself, but rather from the sheer strength of human belief. Let's consider the placebo and nocebo effects, two fascinating phenomena that demonstrate how belief alone can manifest physical symptoms. The placebo effect is a psychological occurrence where a person's symptoms can improve after receiving a treatment they merely believe to be effective, even if it's scientifically inactive. It's a testament to the power of positive thinking and how our minds can influence our bodies. The nocebo effect, on the other hand, is the dark twin of the placebo effect. It's when negative expectations of a treatment lead to more harmful effects. For instance, if someone believes that a harmless substance will cause them discomfort, they may begin to experience real physical symptoms. Unfortunately, the nocebo effect can also be triggered by suggestion. If a person is told they are in a haunted location, their belief in the supernatural might make them interpret ordinary occurrences as ghostly encounters. A creaking floorboard, a gust of wind, a fleeting shadow. These can all be perceived as spectral presences when viewed through the lens of belief. So, what does this tell us about the power of belief? It tells us that our beliefs can shape our perceptions, even to the point of creating physical sensations. It tells us that our minds are capable of creating realities that align with our beliefs, and it tells us that these realities can be so vivid, so tangible, that they can be mistaken for truth. This brings us to an intriguing question. If belief can shape reality in such profound ways, can it also shape our experiences with the supernatural? If we truly believe in ghosts, could that belief make us more likely to encounter them? Could our minds, in essence, be conjuring these apparitions? Could belief in ghosts make us more likely to experience them? The answer might be more complex than we think, but one thing is certain: belief is a potent force, capable of shaping not just our perceptions but our very realities. Science has not shied away from investigating the paranormal. Over the years, scientists have conducted numerous experiments to scrutinize the claims of ghostly encounters. One of the most common tools used in these experiments is ghost hunting equipment. Devices such as electronic voice phenomena, EVP recorders, are used in an attempt to capture ghostly whispers. Infrared cameras are employed to detect unseen entities, and electromagnetic field, or EMF detectors, are used to pick up on any unusual energy fluctuations. These tools have been at the forefront of many investigations, yet the results have been inconclusive at best. The EVP recorders, for instance, often pick up ambient noise that can be interpreted as voices. However, skeptics argue that these interpretations are influenced by the power of suggestion. Infrared cameras, on the other hand, can pick up on temperature changes, but these can also be attributed to natural causes, such as drafts or temperature fluctuations. EMF detectors are perhaps the most controversial. While they can pick up on energy fluctuations, these can also be caused by many things, including faulty wiring or nearby electronics. In fact, some studies have found that high EMF levels can actually cause hallucinations, making people believe they've seen or experienced something paranormal when in fact it was a natural occurrence. In addition to these tools, scientists have also conducted controlled experiments to test the validity of psychic mediums and other paranormal claims. Yet time and time again, these experiments have failed to provide any concrete evidence. The lack of evidence, however, does not necessarily mean that ghosts do not exist. It simply means that, as of now, we have not found any definitive proof. Perhaps there are elements of the paranormal that our current scientific methods are not equipped to measure or understand. So, while we have no definitive proof, the search for answers continues. The quest for understanding the unexplainable remains one of the most fascinating and enduring aspects of human curiosity. So, do ghosts exist? That's the million-dollar question we've been exploring. We've dived deep into the labyrinth of our minds and perceptions, unraveling how our brain's ability to interpret and often misinterpret can play tricks on us. We've peered into the shadowy corners of our psyche where the power of belief can conjure up apparitions from thin air. Our journey has taken us through the maze of the paranormal, where we've scrutinized experiments that have attempted to prove the existence of the ethereal. We've seen how the lack of consistent, replicable scientific evidence has left the paranormal world shrouded in skepticism. But what do we make of all this? The science points towards our brains being the master puppeteers, pulling the strings of our reality. It suggests that our beliefs, fueled by fear and fascination, breathe life into these spectral figures. Yet, the lack of concrete evidence does not necessarily mean non-existence. It may merely signify our inability to comprehend or measure phenomena beyond our current understanding. As we stand on the precipice of the known and the unknown, we are left with more questions than answers. The existence of ghosts, spirits, and other paranormal entities remains a tantalizing enigma, a puzzle yet to be solved. While science can't confirm the existence of ghosts, it also can't completely rule it out. The mystery, it seems, continues.